Hi everyone, welcome back. So we are studying the book Psychology of Money, and today is the chapter number 7, which is freedom. We are actually studying the psychology behind money, right? What do you mean by money? And why do we think that we want money, or why we all spend our time earning money, and why we want to be wealthier, right? What does all this mean? What is the thing that money gives us, right? What is that force behind money that makes us all want to earn more, save more, all that thing? uh, imagine in your life you have all the money you want. You don't have to work for money. Say you wake up tomorrow and you don't have to work for money, and you can do whatever you want whenever you want, like with what whoever you want to do. You can do anything. You can sing, you can dance, you can write, you can sleep, or you can just lazy around. It's up to you. But imagine having that power, right? That will make you happy, right? So what does that money gives? That the money, the highest wealth or highest thing that money gives is control over your time, control your you can do if you have all the money you want, you can do whatever you want. You can get up and say, I can do whatever I want today. That is the highest form of wealth that money pays. That is why we want to earn more, have more. That is the whole thing, right? You want to be happier, right? You want to be happier. So there is a psychologist called Angus Campbell. He was a psychologist. He studied he wanted to know what makes people happy. So that was his study. He found out that controlling their own time, controlling their own life, that what makes many people happy. Like when you have that feeling of controlling, if you have the feeling of I can do whatever I want, then you'll obviously be happy, right? That's what he found out. Having a strong sense of control over your life, that's what he found out. That what makes people happy. uh, it doesn't matter how much highest package you have, how much money you earn. Even the wealthiest, when they don't have the type of time off, or the type of control of on their time, if they don't have that, they'll also be miserable. That is uh, universal. Everybody wants to control their time, everybody wants to control their day. So the highest dividend that money pays is time, your time. Say you have a small amount of wealth, you got sick, and you can take a few days of work. That is also a form of wealth. Because you are feeling sick, you don't want to work, then you can take few days of paid leaves. You can rest at home, right? A little more wealth means when you get laid off, you will not be worried that even after 6 months, if you don't get a job, you can still be okay, you can still survive. That's what a little more wealth means. A little more means uh, you can choose a job which is more flexible, flexible working hours, less commute, whatever you want it. When you have a backup, if you have a 6 month backup, for example, if you can survive your life without a job at least for 6 months, then you have a flexibility. You can choose out of 50 jobs you want to do, whether this is correct for me or not, right? That is what you can do. So money gives you all type of control. Morgan Housel, this author, he wanted to be an investment banker, right? So at his first year degree or sometime, he got an internship at an investment banking. Then when he went to do the internship, he saw that people who work there are more hardworking and more stressed than any human can handle. He actually supposed to complete that four months internship, but he quit in 1 month only, because he felt like he was important at the work. But the working hours, there was a saying in that office. He told in that book, like, if you don't come on Saturday, then don't bother coming on Sunday. Actually, the proverb is, if you don't, in popular culture it is like, if you don't come on Saturday, don't come on Monday. But actually in that firm they were saying if you don't come on Saturday, you don't bother coming on Sunday. That was that much of the hard work or the stress that people were having. So what he is saying is, even if you love something, if you have a hobby or something that you love, doing that thing over somebody else's schedule or on a tight schedule make you hate that thing that you actually love in the first place. For example, you love dancing, you choose a profession in dancing, you become a backup dancer or a dancer, like say. Then if you're working 12 hours 14 hours a day as a backup dancer or in anywhere, then you actually hate that, right? You want to do the thing you love on your time, not somebody else's time. That is the uh, controlling yourself, right? Like, you can dance when you want, you can study when you want, you have a hobby of, say, writing a book, you want to do on your own time, not when somebody comes and tells you do right now. You don't have that, you can't do that. That feeling is called reactance. He's telling that there was a marketing professor whose name was Jonah Berger. He told that actually people like to believe that they are in the control, they are in the driver's seat. If you are, if in your mind, if you are, like, say, you are going left or saying going right, or you are by default a child is doing their homework, but when somebody else comes and tells to do it, then you don't want to do it. That's actually happens with most of us, right? You are like doing a home chore, you will do it by yourself, but when somebody else has come and tell it, you don't want to do it. That is the feeling of reactance. What does it tells? Whatever you want, whatever the work it is there, you want to do it by your own will, at your own time, not when somebody else orders you. There is also an example, this whatever we are understanding, the controlling over your time, how does that happen? There is a story of Derek Sivers. He was an entrepreneur. He is an entrepreneur. You can go and check him on online. He is an entrepreneur. His story is like, he started working at 22 years old. His job he paid 22K per year. So in per month he is getting salary of $1.8K, $1,800. In that, he is saving 800 and spending only 1,000 on whatever the he needs for surviving that month. He never took a taxi or he never ate out. He saved as much as he can. So after 2 years of that job, he had 12K in his savings. So he was actually a musician. He wanted to play in a band or like play in cafes or whatever. Like, he wanted to pursue a career in music. So when he had that 12K in his savings, he quit that job and he never worked again. That is the story. Like, when some interviewer, some friend, he asked, how did you become so successful? Later he had many entrepreneurial exploration, but initial he is saying that my real change happened at age of 22, when I quit my first job and I never worked again. Even now, when he has a successful businesses. So when people say saving that doesn't affect that much, or like, you don't, in this day and age you cannot save, or you cannot do like a retirement plan, now everything has become so costly, or all that thing, that all might be true, but still having a saving plan, or still saving anything that you can, that helps you in long term. In the current scenario, what is happening is, we are using all our wealth, like whatever we earn, in buying better and bigger. We all want a house bigger than our friends. We want everything that we want to buy. Like, when we see online something, we want to buy it immediately. It doesn't matter whether we need it or not. So that has those impulses have taken on. Why this came is, there was a businessman whose name was John D. Rockefeller. He still is one of the wealthiest. he was the wealthiest man alive. So people who knew him, they thought he was a strange guy. He was like older generation, like 1891 or something he born, or some like 19th generations. So people who knew he used to think he was a strange guy, because he never used to speak that much. Whenever he was in a meeting, or he is in a wherever he was, he used to listen to people, not talk that much. Because at that time people were having more hardware jobs, like whatever cranes and all the heavy lifting machines, they came now. But in the olden days, people used to do all those heavy lifting jobs. But his job was taking decisions, listen to everybody around him and take decisions and make smart investment or grow his business. His job was based on his mind thinking. People from outside might be thinking that he's not, what he's doing, he's doing nothing, but he's constantly working in his mind. He's trying to take good decisions. How does that scenario matches with our current world is, in that day and olden age, people used to have more hardware jobs. Right now we have more software jobs, like thinking jobs. Scientists, professors, teachers and all the software people, we are more having a job on our head, not on our hands. Like we are not working in a car company where we are doing the heavy lifting jobs. So that time when John D. Rockefeller was, there was the thinking was only for few people. Now it's for all of people. So today's people, we all feel more stressed out, more worried, rather than olden generation. Even though when we have all the facilities in the world, right now the modern day and age, we have all the facilities. People would have not thought about, like it might be happen, we order food, it comes to our home. We order a cab, it comes to our home. We go by metro, like we have more facilities. We want to watch something fun, there is already TV which is on. So we have all the facilities, still we are more worried and stressed than the older generation. What happening is, when uh, what you call our the current generation device is your head, because it's always with you, which is a device, which is a working device, which is always with you. So you are feeling like you are working 24/7. Say you are a software developer, you are a coder, you get a bug. On the way back to commute from home, office to work, you are still thinking about that work bug. What was the error, why was it not working? Say you are a professor, you are thinking about what should I, like what is the explanation, or what is a better example I can give tomorrow for the students. So it is always a continuous working day. Somebody from Atlantic, the paper author Derek Thompson, he is telling that the operating system of modern day, it's not a factory, it's the day itself. Because we are not going to a factory, physical place. It's not a physical place where we go and we work and come back to home. No, it's the day itself. Whole day is a working day, whole day is a factory like feeling, because you're working continuously. So with all these discussions, currently what is happening is, we are working 24/7. In that also, we are constantly, uh, all the big companies are trying to get your attention. Real shorts, your attention span is becoming less and less. That is increasing more stress. And one side you have working, one side you want to relax, you open a phone and you watch something. So combining that, you don't have a time for yourself. Say you have a hobby, you wanted to do something, maybe in spare time you want to paint, or in your spare time you want to read a book, but that's not even happening. And you feel like, okay, I wanted to do that but I did not do. That guilt feeling will come. So that is a vicious cycle. When you open a phone, there is an advertisement comes. It makes you feel like you want to buy something, even though you don't need it. You have all the color jeans in your wardrobe, you still want to buy something, because there is a sale going on, somebody else is showing you something ad, or some influencer is wearing that. In that, your time is going and your pocket is hitting something, because You are spending on something you don't need. There is a difference between what you need and what you want. Need is something that you need to buy. You need a holiday, you need break, you need to relax, you need to make things that makes you happy. But wanting is, you are wanting to do something because somebody else has told you or somebody has influenced you. So what does this chapter is trying to tell you is, we all want to feel like we are free. We have the control of time in our own hands. Even though when you are working in a job, still finding that some time to do some hobby that you always wanted to do, or something that makes your heart happy. Say you paint, then somebody else buys your painting and they feel happy when they see the painting. Then you feel like, okay, I somebody else is happy because of me, right? So this modern day and age, having time for yourself and having the thinking of saving, it's hard. But understanding that this is a problem, acknowledging it, that is the first step. It's hard. He's telling that he's not giving any steps how you will solve it. He's telling, acknowledge it. The first step is to acknowledge that time needs to be in your control. Carl Pillemer, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct. He has a book called 30 Lessons for Living. In that he took interview of 1,000 people, American people, I think. In that, nobody told that I wish I did buy that big house, or I wish I earned more than my friend. Nobody told those things, materialistic things. What they told is, more happier people were who valued friendship, quality time, feeling that they are some part of bigger things, feeling like they did something, some valuable thing they did with their time. So that is people who were more happy are those people. So say you are a parent and your kid doesn't need all the money. If you are coming late from office, they don't need that money. They want the quality time with you. Any money cannot be equal to that time that you are spending with your children, right? That's what the author is saying. So think about these things. What does your free time mean to you? What is your hobbies? How can I save more? How can I plan retirement? Retirement is basically like having a backup plan, having a plan that you have in your place. Even without a job, even without working for money, you can still survive, right? That is what we all want. So think about all those things. That is what the author is trying to tell. And thank you for listening. Let's see in the next chapter. Thank you.